Touch TV News Channel. The best.
The Ifatu Obi, the Apga chairman of Anambra State, commend Governor Soludo for the past 3 years' achievement and urge the people of Anambra State to see this as an opportunity to return His Excellency Governor Soludo for his second tenure. Following the recommendation, the chairman also allowed His Excellency for his good work that he's doing in Anambra State. Touch TV.
That we need to return him for a second term in office. That is why we did not even find it necessary for any other person to come and to contest. So, but we still have to do the second model, which is what we'll be doing tomorrow, which involves an affirmation of his candidates, or affirmation of his aspiration and nomination. And we have to do that with a 50% plus 1% that's provided by the Electoral Act. So today we are putting the dots and crossing the T's in order to make sure that we have a seamless primaries tomorrow. We want to conduct one of the most decent, most organized primaries recently done by any political party tomorrow. So we are making sure that we put all the logistic effort. Expectedly, we have about 3,200 and a little above delegates. We must make arrangement for the accreditation, quick resolution of any challenges, and of course, every program has to start at 10, which means accreditation has to start on time, and so that the program will start at 10. We are going to have a live coverage for 2 hours, so we must make sure everything is done orderly, as we've done that before, and we expect that tomorrow will not be different from what we proposed.
Okay, Chairman, finally, what we have been hearing over there from Abuja that this election will be rowdy, kind of violent. But when we got there, we discovered that everything was, especially the ruling party, everything was peaceful. As it has been the normal norms in the Anambra in any election games. So what the secret behind it? What's the next line of action for
You know what you hear in Abuja, a lot of people in Abuja don't come home. So they sit in Abuja and they enjoy themselves in the leisure of their restaurants and speak the things that do not in any way conform with what is on ground. In the last 3 years, this state has gone through the nature of transformation unparalleled in the history of this state. I'm one politician that have been involved in this business since 1983 when I went to the state assembly. So I totally understand the dynamics of the politics of Anambra State. We had one challenge only, and that had to do with security. But today, we've set up the best security apparatus in the entire federation, including the federal concerns and the laws made by any other state. We came up with the Homeland Law, and we repackaged all our security issues into a very tight law. Our law did not only challenge the question of immediate criminality, as it were. We went back to the roots of what could cause the remote things, going into drug addiction, going into cult activities, going into Yahoo business, going into native doctors, including fake pastors. All these things were encompassed in the law. And today, everywhere is very calm. And we've been calm for the past 1 month and getting better every day. 2 weeks ago, I think some of them said, let them try. In 3 days, we had a challenge. Each day they were caught. Each day they were caught. Each day they were caught. And the victims were recovered, unlike before. All this happened about 2 weeks ago in 3 chain. It tells you that we were getting it right. That was a major challenge. That was our only issue. Beyond that, in terms of development, Mr. Governor has done incredibly well without borrowing one copper. Without borrowing one copper, we've been able to achieve so much. What looked like a jinx, we never had a government house for 34 years. Today, we have a brand new government house. Today, some administrations in this state ended up after 8 years with only about 84 kilometers of road. But in barely 3 years, Mr. Governor has awarded 765 kilometers of road and has asphalted 450 kilometers in 3 years. So he came with a revolution that we've never seen before. Before we used to see political appointees take peanuts in terms of stipends and salaries. He said, no, I'd rather teach you how to fish than give you fish. So we started what we call the One U2 Skill Program Initiative, training people, giving them grants, and exposing them to soft loans through which they could advance their business. The first set was 5,000 trainees, and the first set were exposed to a grant of 2 billion naira. Some of them got 500,000, some of them got 700, some of them got 1 million. On a sustainable level, you go into your business. If you are trained for one vocation, you go into it. The glory of that practice. Today, we've done about 8,000 and above. But the glory of it is that about 3 weeks ago, from that first set, 1,000 of them came out to say, we've become millionaires and that we want to train others to benefit from what we got. That they are now exporters of business. And they voluntarily ran that program and amortized all that program. And they are now trying to produce another set of millionaires like them. You see, much better when people talk about stomach infrastructure. Stomach infrastructure is not about giving you cover on a monthly basis. It's not about sustainable income. So if Mr. Governor leaves, of course he will leave after 8 years. What becomes next? If you were SASSA, the next governor sacks you go back to the street. But if you were trained into a good income, even when Mr. Governor leaves, like some have become millionaire, you don't need another governor to survive. This is the kind of revolution we've seen under Governor Solomon. Prenatal and delivery system free of charge. Today we are grappling with the program that is being discussed. The statistics clearly show that 57% of the women who now deliver in Anambra State are not even from Anambra State. They now come from neighboring states, Apga, etc. This is like how to touch. This is what we call the real human capital We have free education from class 1, JS1 to SS3. These are the things. And you keep asking, with all this, how is he getting the money to do all this? But you see, there's no profligacy in the governance process. For him, good governance also entails being careful in the management of the resources. We remember a few years ago, it used to cost about 116 million every month to clean government house. Today, Mr. Governor cut it down to 11 million, and government house is still clean. So you see how much money. Before, we used to use gas and generators to power our street lights. Check in your own home. If you put on your generator 6 in the evening till 6 the following morning, there's no way you will not use up to 30 liters of gas. And how much is that? He came and removed them and went back to solar. So we now use solar to power the lights and it stays in the same way. So he's been quite prudent and he's shown himself with a clear vision as to the projects of Anambra State. Finally, because I'm trying to do a nutshell of the big success we've seen of Governor Soludo in barely 3 years. That explains to you why it was unanimous that he takes a second term. And of course, nobody in Ghana had the courage, rightly to challenge that. That is, of course, also rubbing off of the others, even the opposition parties. The opposition parties, those that would have really run for governorship, when they look at the record and standards that have been set by this man in 3 years, they say, no, let's go and run, let's go and rest. Out there in the field, whether in the APC, PDP, of course, PDP doesn't have a candidate. Labour, we don't know which faction is running, and etc. We don't find the quality. We don't find any candidates that you can really put out there on the same platform with Governor Soludo. That is not to say we're going to take anything for granted. We are going to run this race like we are running against giants. And if it entails crushing anybody electorally, we will do so. We will run with all our might, we will run with all our resources, we will put all our capacities where we put their record. It is our record that will determine the result. Because we are going for a second term. Not the rhetorics that they will be coming with. Our people will always say, the one they have seen is a remarkable record. So we hope you'll be around tomorrow to see